Some years ago, I remember watching at a traffic signal junction in Bangalore. I'm sure you must have also sometimes come across this kind of a thing. There's a man in badly dressed, toned dress, and a madman. Sometimes in our country, we let the madman out in the streets. And this man, madman after all, and he has seen the police and how the police controls the traffic. And so the signal lights were there. And this man, madman, and all the traffic is waiting there because it's red light. So he's showing his hand. And then after some time, the light turns green. And then suddenly now he's saying, okay, go. And then suddenly after some time, again the vehicle stops. Again he shows here. Another set of vehicles start moving. And now actually, it is not because of his stopping or allowing the vehicles are going. It is because of some other reason. Lights are there. Lights are controlled by the police. They have programmed it that way. But he is thinking, I'm the one who is stopping it. I'm the one who is allowing it. And when he's allowing, he's very happy. All of them are going. He's smiling. You see, this is madness. Poor guy doesn't realize that. He's thinking, I'm the one who is letting. I'm the one who is stopping. So like this, the conditioned soul, under the waves of the material nature, the modes of nature, kala, karma, happiness, distress, all of that is coming and going. And the living entity is not aware of all this. He thinks, I'm the doer, I did this, I caused this happiness, I am the one who deserves all of this credit. Or sometimes distress comes, oh my God, what happened? And he suffers. All of this experience is like that of a madman. So when a madman is feeling very good, oh, the traffic is all moving and he's feeling smiling. Is there any meaning to his happiness? Actually, there's no meaning to his happiness. He's mad. He doesn't know what is reality. In the same way, the transcendental conception of the Bhagavatam that is presented here is that here in this world we take very seriously. Someone gets elected as a politician and then there is so much fanfare around him. Someone is declared as the best actor, this award, that award. It's a big ceremony and this man is walking up and everyone is cheering and is going and receiving this award and everyone is cheering like that. It's just the happiness of this madman like that. You see? Or someone gets a big rank, or someone is declared as the best CEO, best performing business and this and that, and there is so much adulation and applause and the living entity is thinking, yes, I did it. Actually, it will just be gone in a matter of time. Swept away with time, all these so-called success and all of these adulations, everything will be gone in no time. But the living entity, under the impression of the false ego, thinks that this is happiness. That is why the transcendental conception of life makes us become indifferent to all of these glorifications. Actually, it's supposed to make us indifferent to all of this glorification. What is the meaning in this happiness, in this joy of this material world? That is why Krishna explains how his devotees perceive this world in the Bhagavad Gita. He's saying, this is how a devotee becomes dear to him, or a devotee who is dear to him has these attributes and these qualities. In the 12th chapter, Krishna is saying, Anapekshaha shuchirthaksha udasina gatavyataha. Anapekshaha, he is indifferent, neutral. Sometimes success may come, sometimes failure may come, he is indifferent. Anapekshaha shuchirthaksha udasina. Udasina means also, don't bother. Udasina gatavyataha, and no distress touches him. Because he has understood all this material world, happiness, distress, is like the perception of happiness and distress of a madman. What is this big deal? So, udasina gatavyataha, sarvalamba paritya. A devotee who is not dependent on ordinary course of activities, who is expert, pure expert, without cares, free from all pains, and who does not strive for some result, is very dear to me. So, udasina becomes indifferent to this material world of happiness. For the materialists, this pursuit of happiness is so big, so important. Their whole life they are giving to that. And a devotee realizes this is just meaningless. Now, so this is how a devotee, a yogi, sukha dukkha bahya, he is outside of all these, he's not perturbed by these things. Sukha dukkha bahya udasina. Now, this is how a transcendentalist, a devotee, feels. Now, it's very interesting. Krishna describes how he feels about this material world. The Lord is also watching this material world. Someone is glorified, got the best actor, Oscar award, this, that. And how is the Lord watching that happening? All those kind of events that are happening, politician getting elected and this and that. How is the Lord looking at that? Krishna describes that in the Bhagavad Gita. Na chamam thani karmani nibadhanti dhananjaya udasinam asinam asaktam teshu karmasu. Krishna's attitude towards this also, udasinavat asinam. How is Krishna situated? Looking at all of these things, all happening under his direction. Mayadhyakshena suyate, prakriti suyate, sacharachara, it's all happening under his direction. But he's udasinavat asinam. He's also indifferent to it because it's just a play. Sometimes parents watch children and they're doing some, with the toys, something, and some in their game, something has become success and everyone is happy there. One doll's birthday, they are celebrating, children after all. And then they're happy, this is this child's birthday, this doll's birthday. What do parents look at? Udasinavat asinam. Children after all. There's no birthday, there is no nothing, it's just they're playing like that. Udasina. Now, very interestingly, Prabhupada explains this in the Bhagavad Gita, in the purport of the Bhagavatam. Different perspectives of the world exist, right? That's what people say. Oh no, that's his perspective. This is his perspective. This political party has one perspective. Another political party has another. All these kind of different perspectives people talk about. Philosophers have perspectives. Now, Prabhupada says, Krishna consciousness or the Krishna conscious perspective is the same as the perspective of the Lord. Imagine this world of plethora of perspectives. Everyone is having different, people are having different perspectives about the world and how they look at it. What is this universe? What is happening in this world? How we should act, how we should not act. These are all relative perspectives of so many people. There's one perspective the Lord has, and that perspective is the perspective that we learn in Krishna consciousness. And we see that how the devotee, the Lord is udasinavat asinam. The devotee is also about the material world, udasina. So we can see there is perfect alignment with the Lord's thinking and the devotee, the yogi's thinking. In the previous verse, Kapila talked about Atmanam atra purusho avyavadhanam ekam anvikshate. He experienced oneness with the Lord. And Prabhupada was saying, experience of oneness doesn't mean you have to lose your individuality. The Lord is udasinavat asinam. The devotee is also udasinavat. He's indifferent. This is the meaning of oneness. Not losing it. That's a very silly idea. That yes, you become one means you become individuality itself, you lose. That's not that conception doesn't have depth at all. Whereas the Vaishnava conception, oneness, it is actually not by losing individuality. It is by aligning ourselves with the thinking and the perspectives of the Lord. Then the minds have become one. That is the kind of a oneness that is being talked about. Now, when the living entity is in this kind of a, Kapila Deva is saying, asati kartari, he is under the influence of false ego caused by ignorance. Asati kartari, when he's in that stage, like a madman. The madman, he's under the influence of some madness. Something has happened to his brain. Unfortunately, he's in the state of that madness. He cannot think properly, he cannot act properly, he cannot look at things, understand properly. So in that state, how can he ever understand the transcendental position of Krishna, who is Krishna, all of these things? Recently, one folk boy asked a question, an interesting question. He asked, Prabhu, can the living entity know Krishna without the help of Vedic literatures? See, without the help of Vedic literatures, can we know Krishna? Actually, it is not possible. Maya mugdha jiva, nahi swatha Krishna gyan. When the living entity is Maya mugdha, captivated, enchanted, charmed, victimized by Maya, the illusory energy, jiva swatha Krishna gyan, cannot understand Krishna. Jivera kripaya kaila, Krishna vera puran. So what is the position of the living entity? So jivera kripaya, out of compassion for the such living entities who are mad in this material world, for them, for their benefit, kaila, Krishna Veda Puran, Krishna Kaila Veda Puran. Krishna has presented in the form of his incarnation of Vyasadeva, Veda Puran. He has presented the Vedic literatures. Through the Vedic literatures, we can understand. Without the Vedic literatures, we can get some hint. When you see order, when you see all these things in this world, looks like there is some higher order creator. There is somebody who is designer, because you see design in this world. So there is it looks like, it points out. But actually, if you want to know what is the nature of the designer, you cannot know on your own. By speculation, we cannot know. That's why the Bhagavatam says, Gnane prayasa udapasya namanta eva. One has to end gnana prayasa, this kind of speculation. Let me understand what is this truth by my own. Gnana prayasa udapasya namanta eva. So this is the actual position of the living entity. And then another interesting point that Kapila has brought out is mahimni avasitaha. He is situated in his true glory. What is the glory of the living entity? The glory of the living entity is that he is connected to the Supreme Lord. Prabhupada explains that I remember that I used to have one classmate in college, and we used to meet sometimes, and then invariably we used to tell who he is. He is the great grandson of Sir M. Vishweshwaraya, and he would feel, I don't think I'm an ordinary man. He was actually the great grandson or some descendant of Sir M. Vishweshwaraya. He was a very respected man, a very big man in our state, in our country. So he would feel. So when you feel you're connected to a very big man, so far I was thinking I'm an ordinary man. No, I'm connected to a big man. Actually, that is the sense Krishna is imparting by saying, Mamai Mamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. We are not ordinary. We are related to the Supreme Lord who controls the whole universe. We are related to him. And Prabhupada says, Bhagavatam says, and Chaitanya Charitamrita points out, we are not just related, we are intimately related. Just see, we are intimately related. We are related in intimate love. And that intimate love is spontaneous. It's not that you need some trigger and then it'll come out. No, it is just spontaneously experienced. And that intimate, loving, spontaneous relationship is sweet. It's very, very sweet. That's why here Prabhupada has written very nicely that he discovers that sweet relationship with the Supreme Lord. He's experiencing that sweet relationship. And now, very rarely all of these are known. It was actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami says, Anarpita charim chirat karunaya avatarna khalo. In Anarpita charim chirat karunaya, it is not so easily given away. Anarpita chirat, for a long time, very rarely Anarpita chirat means rarely it is presented, it is given. And what is that? Swabhakti Shriya, the treasure of love of Krishna. That is not very easily given. And that treasure of love of Krishna, that is the Mahimni Avasitaha. That is what the Bhagavatam is presenting to the living entities. And that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give to the living entities in Kali Yuga. That is why it is said that Mahavadhanyaya, very, very extraordinary